tonight, I want to take a few minutes of your time and point you to the Gospel of Mark. Mark, the fourth chapter is where I want to begin tonight, or where our study will be. Mark chapter 4. And I'd like to look at verses number 35 through 41. If you have your Bibles, just jump in there and go read along with me. I'm going to be reading from the New King James translation, but I may make some references to some other translations as well. But I just want you to be engaged. I want you to follow. I want you to see if the scriptures are saying and speaking to you in such a way that you can add this to your faith and grow. All right. This account is this situation, this passage is the account of when Jesus and his disciples were on a boat in the sea, on the Sea of Galilee, and a great windstorm came upon them. And seemingly they were ready the windstorm was ready to sink the boat. And Jesus was in the back of the boat sleeping. You can read this account in Matthew's Gospel, chapter 8, verses 23 through 27, and Luke's Gospel, chapter 8, verses 22 through 25. But I want to focus primarily on Mark's Gospel account tonight. Let me start our lesson tonight with a question. Have you ever experienced a windstorm, a hurricane, or a tornado? In real life can be a very scary situation. I went to college in Florida A&M, go Rattlers, right? And I remember many hurricane and tornado watches, warnings, and even a few evacuations. I specifically remember Hurricane Andrew in 1992 devastating South Florida and causing hundreds of millions of dollars in damage. I remember seeing the devastation. I remember specifically just how the storm just showed the true power of nature and the feeling of helplessness as you try to find a safe place or a refuge during the storm. I remember those feelings, right? And I think it's just an interesting thing because you realize as you hope and pray, you're asking God to keep you safe in the storm. You're praying that the storm will pass you by without harming you or your loved ones. That's your prayer. Everybody's thinking the same thing. We want God to help us. We're looking for God to protect us, right? Well, that's what happened in Mark chapter 4 in the verses we're going to look at, 35 through 41. Let's read the passage. And I want you to follow along with me. Mark chapter 4. I got my Bible here, so just bear with me as my old eyes try to focus here. It says, on the same day, when evening had come, he, referring to Jesus, said to them, let us cross over to the other side. Now, when they had left the multitude, they took him along in the boat as he was, and other little boats were also with him. And a great windstorm arose, and the waves beat into the boat so that it was already filling. But he was in the stern, asleep on a pillow. And they awoke him and said to him, listen to this, teacher, do you not care that we are perishing? Then he arose and rebuked the wind and said to the sea, peace, be still. And the wind ceased, and there was a great calm. But he said to them, why are you so afraid? How is it that you have no faith? And they feared exceedingly and said to one another, who can this be, that even the wind and the sea obey him? And that's Mark chapter 4, verses 35 through 41. I want you to take a minute to consider this passage